something crosses the road. It's skeletal, light, fleshy, and it stands up, and then it like kind of just almost like leaps.
They look back and they see one. Clear as day. It walked 5 feet away from my audio recorder. We just saw a Bigfoot. Holy crap.
I've been pinched, I've been tapped on the shoulder, I've had my name hollered, a hand came up underneath my left arm. I said, little son of a bitch tried to get me. That was the time that I decided you don't sleep inside that building.
Did you see that?
The cow cur, it's big, it's white, and it runs faster than any man could ever run. And he would lean out behind the tree. And that's why we never go out, because the booger will get you.
Well, how was everyone's Christmas?
Good, how was yours?
Oh, nice.
It was good. It was good. Luke said that he found you on TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, Chelsea was watching his live, and she commented and said, we host a podcast, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. Yeah, that was my fiance you were messaging during the live, or talking to during the live.
So you do a little podcasting yourself? I see you got a pretty decent setup there.
I mean, it's all right. I do a little bit.
Heck yeah. Is that the Shure SMB7, the Shure SMB7?
No, actually, this is a Fifine. I don't know. It sounds great, and it didn't cost $500. It was like $50 on Amazon.
Hey, I dig it. It sounds good.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
So tell us, man, how did you get into the paranormal?
Well, so my wife and I have always been kind of, paranormal fanatics. Ever since we got married in 2005, we've always watched Ghost Hunters. And I know it sounds kind of silly, but we watched them because we liked the way they did their investigations. Not everything was haunted. Not everything was, oh my God, spooky. Now it's the complete opposite. Now it's everything. It's all about, cinematics, which is fine. Whatever. It's no big deal because you want that scare factor going in. So, but we really got involved with it. We both had some experiences that happened to us when we were younger. She's seen some apparitions. I got to witness. I'm not a big fan of Ouija boards, and there's a reason for it. My mother was playing with one, and it unleashed something completely pure evil, and we had to cleanse the house. It took like 3 days to cleanse it. And it was just, it was pretty bizarre. And then some odd years later, Paranormal Activity came out. And I was like, oh, that hits pretty close to home. And then, and I was like, okay. And so I always thought it was like really expensive to do paranormal investigating. But so I realizing like with all the technology we have today, it's not, I mean, it can be, but to get started, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, depending on the equipment that you buy.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm getting into building my own equipment program. Like I found this, it's called a microcontroller, and I can program it however I want to do pretty much anything. So I'm planning on building an AI operated audio device that'll analyze the audio as it's being recorded to find anomalies.
Oh, wow.
What kind of things happened whenever the Ouija board was involved?
My brother was thrown against the wall, picked up, literally thrown against the wall. He will never admit it to this day, but I'm like, I know what happened. I saw it, but he'll never admit it to this day. The smell of I want to say like a roast beef cooking in the middle of the night when there's nothing cooking in the middle of the night.
Oh, wow.
So things like that. Just eerie footsteps. The the whole footstep thing, I think at that point, it's not afraid. It wants to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So it had no issues. It didn't really attack me or my dad, but it definitely attacked my younger brother, and it definitely, obviously, it went after my mom a lot. So
Yeah, that's wild. We went on an investigation within the last few months, and I got the opportunity to use a Ouija board, which I don't feel like we really had any activity with it. Would you say, Luke?
No, it was your, the thing didn't even move.
Mm-mm.
oh wow, lucky you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the Ouija board. I feel like it's kind of like those other divination tools, like tarot and stuff like that. Like I read tarot, and then to me, it
Yeah.
seems pretty similar.
I think if you have a positive spirit, positive thought process, I don't
Mhm.
think it would be like that bad. Because I do tarot also,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't bother me. But yeah, I think if you have like a real negative, aura to you, I think it's going to really affect how things are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really want to test it. we go as far as the Estes method, and that can be, that's actually an interesting process, but that can happen.
Mhm.
Things can happen definitely on that one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that a lot of it has to do with your belief and your intentions and things like that.
Absolutely.
definitely.
And what kind of places have you gone to? Have you gone to any well-known places?
Tombstone.
Tombstone?
We're out here in Arizona,
Oh, okay.
so we do a lot of local things. We have a lot of paranormal activity locally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it's here in Globe. It's a small mining town, so we have everything from mining accidents to murders to ladies of the night being murdered. We have Arizona's first serial killer was hung in our hometown, and the hanging tree is still there to this day.
Oh, wow, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, we went on we did a live TikTok over there at it, and had some interesting. The first night we had some pretty wild EMF readings. The second night we went over, we didn't have hardly any, but then the REM pods were going absolutely nuts. So can't explain it.
Hmm.
That'd be a cool thing to investigate a healing tree. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, I want to do some more and get some more intel on that. But yeah, it's literally a hanging tree. There's like a big old monument there and everything. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Now do you just mainly stick with like the EMF and the Estes method?
We do EMF. We do obviously we do spirit boxes. We do REM pods. We do EVPs. There's and we're just barely getting started, so we don't have like a whole lot of equipment. We have, the basic stuff. Like we have this little bugger goes pretty much everywhere with me. Let's see, little EMF or little EVP recorder and lights. Lights are a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much like our basic, like we could throw in a small bag, let's go check it out real quick kind of thing. It's pretty versatile. Most everything you could either fit in a small backpack or like your back pocket, because some people are a little uptight when you're walking through their place and you're like, hey, I feel something kind of crazy happening here. Oh, hey, let's bust out the EMF and check it out, see what we get. And so kind of things like that.
What would you say your best EVP is?
My best EVP that I've really caught was I put it on my YouTube and I don't remember right off the bat what it said. I think it said yes, or man, I don't remember exactly what it was. Um, it's on our YouTube channel. I want to say it was like he's still here or something like that. And it was pretty wild. And then, believe it or not, I kind of sort of picked it up on this, but I picked it up even more on this on my freaking cheap straight talk cell phone. So
yeah, sometimes the phone is the best with communication.
Yeah. And so I use this just kind of like quick playback if I hear anything. But like I said, because this, I don't know, man. This has been a pretty interesting tool. This is my EVP and night vision camera all wrapped up into one because, again, we're just barely getting started. So
yeah.
Eventually I'll get all the nice, cool, fancy equipment. But, for now we're Walmart and Amazon shoppers.
Axie has a, are you familiar with Axie?
Yes, I just looked at their website. I found some really cool, affordable things in there.
Yeah, I got this little REM pod thing that beeps like a motion detector.
Oh, nice.
Like it looks like a little flying saucer that lights go around it.
I saw that.
I ordered one of those motion sensor bears that lights up like a teddy bear.
Those are like a Boo Buddy.
Yeah, but it's not as advanced as a Boo Buddy.
Yeah, my friend has a Boo Buddy, and that thing is pretty cool. Like it just starts talking out of nowhere. We were just sitting around, just doing a TikTok live, and just sitting around, kind of chilling. And that's my notification right there. A buddy of mine was making a comment, so I'll tell you about that ghost investigation here in a bit. So we were sitting around the table, and there was this shootout back in the I want to say like early 1900s, late 1800s, and it was in the same area where my friend lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were just doing a little spirit box session. Hey, check out this Boo Buddy. Let's see what it does and everything. So we had it in the middle of the table, and that thing was like lighting up left and right, and it was. Whenever something would touch it, it would say, "Oh, that tickles," like a Tickle Me Elmo doll.
Mm-hmm.
And it started asking it questions like, "What's your favorite cookie? What kind of food do you like?" "I like cookies." I'm like, "Is that like an automated thing?" And we're all looking at the directions. And it says, "If something is near it, it's going to say these phrases." And I'm like, "Holy crap!" There's like something like in the house, like on the table right now, that's playing with the bear. And so we put it in like the hallway and thought, well, let's see what it does there. And it's same thing. It started like lighting up whenever a temperature fluctuation would hit, it would say, "Oh, it's really cold in here," like a real kid voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, what the heck? I happen to think because our town is got so much freaking paranormal activity, half the time I got to look and see if my equipment's not malfunctioning.
Yeah.
I mean, that literally, like, honest to God, this thing will go off. Like, we'll be doing an Estes method right here in the studio table. And we'll have it placed like right here, and this thing will go off all the way to freaking red. About the time when my wife is answering a question for the Estes method, and I'm like, interesting.
Wow, that is really interesting. We thought about getting a Boo Buddy, or maybe even building one, possibly.
They're so expensive, though. I've seen the back thing.
$400.
Yeah.
You could probably build that cheaper.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on what all you put into it. Doing the Estes method, what's the most like convincing evidence that you've guys gotten?
Where do I begin? Well, so apparently when you're doing an Estes method, it's only supposed to be for the area that you're at.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you are not normally supposed to contact spirits across the world.
What?
So I do Civil War reenacting, and so I have a lot of Civil War equipment here.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife is, she's not a historian. I am. She's not. And we did an Estes method one time. We had a gentleman from the 83rd Pennsylvania at Gettysburg.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy. It sounds weird, but we did all this on TikTok Live. Most of our Estes methods are on TikTok Live. And so we have people that are always constantly like looking up information. I have a lady that does that willingly. She just does it because she's just like, oh, this is super cool. You know, she looks at it as like, this is really cool to investigate. Let's check this out if this is really what's going on. You know, and we've had things like a car accident happened in Colorado. And it was a little boy and his mother, and the little boy had died in the car crash 2 weeks prior to us doing this Estes method, and it was scared and didn't know what to do. But it found my wife. My wife, like I said, I mean, I can't explain it, and I don't want to sound like I'm like an arrogant person, and I definitely don't want to have the title of medium, and neither does she. We're us. Like, we're nobody special, but these are legit things that are like what's happening, and it's all live. It's all live on TikTok. It's all live. You know, we do videos about it while doing Estes methods. So that's probably our number one tool. However, the problem is it's our number one tool. Other things have a tendency to come through. It doesn't happen very often, but we've had a couple of incidences that have happened, and nothing like freaky, nothing bad, just like something was trying to attach itself to my wife.
Oh wow.
And we had to immediately pull out of the Estes method. I had to do like a blessing kind of thing, and it got it away like immediately. You don't know it's there. It's there, but you definitely gone, because it's like the boiling frog effect. You put a frog in water and you slowly turn it up. Well, that's what this thing was doing. It was slowly bringing its presence in to where you weren't going to notice it. But as soon as it was gone, it was like, holy crap, like it's gone. Like whatever it was gone. But it wasn't gone completely, because it was still floating around the house. But it's gone now. But yeah, it was so we haven't really messed with Estes methods a whole lot since then. We did one the other night. We did an investigation at the old Elks Lodge here in Globe. That place was pretty well hopping too. That was an interesting investigation. Fun. I enjoy it. It was fun. I like the science aspect of it. You know, I like to, a lot of people are like, hey, we want to know if this place is really haunted, and we want to know if like if we're in danger. And it really helps people out a lot by knowing that, okay, it's just your pipes creaking that's doing this. This is what we found. And, you know, simple things like that can easily be explained. So yeah, it helps people out with that kind of thing. And yeah, that's what we do, is we help people gather pieces of mind.
That's cool.
Yeah, I figure investigations with like private homes, and there's this one house we went to. They had a lot of EMF in the house, and they were claiming there was a lot of paranormal activity, which, as you know, EMF can like mess with your head a little bit. So there was so much EMF in the house, they were like, I don't want to say going crazy, but they were like, what would be the word be? Getting the effect by the EMF, where they were like thinking like stuff paranoia was happening. Yeah, paranoia was probably the best word.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of it too is because this is a copper town.
Mm-hmm.
Copper has a tendency to conduct a lot of energy, so it can fluctuate EMF readings left and right. So but so we've learned here in town when to debunk that and when not to. For instance, like we'll ask, hey, is there any spirits here with us tonight? And this thing here will just kind of beep a little bit and like, okay, did you used to work here? Beep, beep, kind of things like that. And we know when it's our cell phones, and we know when it's not. So, because we always try to debunk it. Like, hey, is our equipment messed up? Batteries. We always have a spare thing of batteries. Several batteries. Always.
Right. Yeah. That's something that I was telling him a while ago is I would like to understand the scientific perspective of what we do. Why is the EMF detector going off? Like, I don't want to just jump to things being paranormal, because I feel like
Absolutely.
that's what a lot of investigators do, is they go out there for that. My thing, I would like to understand the environmental effect. You know what I mean? Like, what could possibly be happening other than paranormal?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely the number one thing that we do is, like I said, we don't like to just jump in and go, oh yeah, your place is haunted. The definition of paranormal is anything that can be explained or that cannot be explained under normal circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Could there be an airplane flying over that's queuing in a microphone at the same time we're asking questions? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see one up there. Okay. I mean, sure. Could be the police station. Could be. Police station's a mile away, but I mean, it could be. So,
Right.
but at what extent do you want to just say, well, it's just radio frequencies. Oh, it's just there's a plane flying above. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, but
Yeah, there's always the but.
yeah. Yeah, once we get to that point, we're like, yeah, there's something definitely paranormal going on here. Which, again, meaning something that can't be explained under normal circumstances.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you do private home investigations often?
Yes. Yeah, periodically, yeah. We've done a few.
I just had stuff
Yeah.
fall out of my closet.
Oh, sorry, guys. I have a tendency to doing that.
I was just telling him before we hopped on the call, right here's my door to my room, and it was kind of cracked open, and I was doing stuff on the computer, and several times it looked like somebody just like reached in just real quick. Ain't nobody there.
Yeah, I mean, that can happen. Yep.
Yeah, you have been having a lot of activity recently there.
Well, I noticed activity picked up since we left the Ross house. That was where we used the Ouija board.
Yeah, you might have an attachment.
It's very possible.
Yeah. Not a possession, but an attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah. The girls, my daughters, they say that they hear things at night. I know that I've heard footsteps in the hallway, and when was that, Luke? That was just a few days ago that I had the hangers in my closet. They were swaying back and forth and tinging off of each other. Ting, 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 ting.
Wow.
So, but I've never really investigated here. I don't know that I really want to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you really want your house to really be haunted? I mean, do you really want?
It depends on what kind of stress comes along with it.
Exactly. One of the times that we did an Estes method, and one of the things that we do with our Estes methods is we always try to, whoever's like in the comments, we always try to bring that loved one out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, she's a good friend of ours now, and that's one other cool thing about what we do is we make some really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl was like, hey, I might know that person. Actually, what happened was my wife was on the other side, doing the Estes method, and she says, can you see me? And I said, no, I can't see you. I'm out by the car. I'm like, well, no, we have, like, I don't see you. You're not out by any car because we have, one truck. And Like, okay, I definitely can't see you here because everything is on the other side of the house. We're on this side of the house. And so I'm like, I definitely can't see you. And then she's all, did you hear that? And I was like, no, I didn't hear that. Somebody chimed in the comments, hey, my car alarm is going off.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So I'm like confused too. I'm like, what do you mean your car alarm's going off? And so I was like, okay, quick. Are you making someone's car alarm go off? Yes, I am.
This
and
is
I got on the comment. This is during TikTok Live.
in an Estes method.
Yes, Estes method.
That's wild.
Happens all the time, dude. I'm not even joking. Like, it is absolutely knucking futs, man. Like, it's like, what? Like, no way. And then so we bring her into the box, right? We bring her into the box, and I said, hey, is your car alarm going off? And she's like, yeah, my car alarm keeps going off. And I'm like, have you been watching our TikTok? And she's like, I just hopped in like 5 minutes ago. And I'm like, that explains the time, because about 5 minutes ago, she's like, yeah, I heard your wife say I'm by the car. And then as soon as she said that, my car alarm went off. So she just hopped in. We have no idea who this person is at this point. Like, she just random person.
That's wild.
And it happens all the freaking time. Like, I can't explain it. My dad's on the other side because he lives with us. And he's like, I never really understood much of any of this stuff. He says, but that Estes method is, and he watches all of our lives, and he's like, I don't know where you guys, like, how is this even possible? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. And so I'm like, I don't want to say like, oh, hey, I'm a medium, contact me for all. I don't want to do that. And I'm not going to do that. And so, because I don't know, man. It still blows my mind to this day. Like, honestly, I get speechless. I have no idea.
Yeah, I love when things like that happen, because then it's like there's no way that, the chances of that happening are so slim.
No, super slim. Super slim.
I mean,
the Gettysburg guy, you could probably look that up and maybe kind of get a small piece of it, but I don't know. He knew so much detail about things that was going on that hell I didn't even know. So if I didn't know, chances are my wife didn't know.
We had an instance at the Ross house under Estes method. There was me and this girl. We were both under Estes, and they all were asking questions. And the one gentleman had said that he had smelled a cologne in the hallway, and it smelled like musky. And then Luke was asking if we could get up and go smell it. And during all that, I go, so you think I'm sweet?
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Phantom smells. We did an investigation in Downtown Globe. Now, Downtown Globe has nothing but brothels. You got the courthouse, you got the old jail, which that's a hopping place too. But that whole downtown area is like this gigantic vortex of stuff. Mm-hmm. Every building we've ever been to, we've never come out empty-handed. Some were a little bit more shyer than others. Some would actually follow us from the 1916 train depot. We did like 3 investigations in a row, three nights in a row. So we started off at the train depot, and that was built in 1916. Now there's a little boy there that was killed on the other side of the railroad tracks. His name was Bert. I think he was like 9 years old. So, and then the next night we were at the 1910 jail, which, if you guys are fans of Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagans has been to our jail.
Oh, okay.
And we went to, I'm kind of like you too. It's, yeah.
I don't know.
He's one of those topics.
But just let you know, these places do exist. This is where you can find.
Yeah. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, and so we went to the jail, and he followed us there at the jail. The next night we were at the old bakery, which is now called the Naughty Fox.
I'm not gonna lie, when you said Naughty Fox, I thought
my brain did not even go there.
Mine did.
Yeah, so he's got this store called the Naughty Fox, and he does woodworking. It's a novelty store. Well, back in the day, you know, in the 30s and 40s and 20s, it was this bakery. Well, the little boy Bert followed us over there. And this is all like within like blocks of each other. So you got the train depot, you got the Catholic church. Across the street there is some brothels. Then you got the courthouse, and then you got the jail. And the jail and the courthouse are connected, but they're owned by two different people, but they're connected by this bridge. Anyways, and then down the street from that, you got the theater, and then across the street is the Naughty Fox. And yeah, that's none of these places have ever been a disappointing place to go to. Like, you always come out with something.
Yeah.
And I mean like something like the Naughty Fox, footsteps, EMF lights going off like crazy. My friend had a I want to say it was a REM pod, but it played different songs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what that's called. I'm still kind of learning the terminology here. I'm like, I don't know, that thing makes noise. And so it was playing Amazing Grace. Well, apparently whatever spirit was around it liked hearing Amazing Grace. So it would, like, every like 2 minutes, it was going off.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's like we don't have to go very far to check things out, you know. And
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, is it just you and your wife, or do you have like a whole group that you go with?
Sometimes we collaborate with other groups. We collaborated with another group Sunday night called Pitch Dark Paranormal, and they're from New Mexico. And I'll talk about that investigation here in a little bit. But yeah, just basically it's my wife. Sometimes my daughter tags along. My youngest daughter, she's 17. Sometimes she tags along when she's not busy with college and school. But yeah, pretty much just me and my wife.
That's cool. Yeah. My daughter, she wants to get into it, but she's only 8. She's like, I want to go to these places, Dad. I'm like, well, they don't allow. Like, they have an age limit.
Yeah. Our places are pretty well, you know, friendly, family friendly places. So
that's good.
Yeah, like they open up the jail for on Halloween. They open up the jail for a kid-friendly ghost tour, and you just walk through the old jail and everything. You got people in costumes, and it's kind of cool. My grandkids went to it, and they had a blast.
Now, you guys mainly stick in the Arizona state, or do you guys venture out other places?
We'll be venturing out as we start to accumulate more revenue and things like that. But yeah, because you know, price of fuel is just through the damn roof, and
I get that.
It's very hard to even get down to Mesa. We only live about an hour and a half away from Mesa. Just to even get down there, it's like $80. So it's like, oh, we'll stick around here as much as we can.
Yeah. Well, if you guys ever make it up to Pennsylvania, let us know. We take you around a few places.
I would, you know what? There's so much things I want to do in Pennsylvania. It's not even funny.
What are some of the things that you'd like to do?
Well, so you know, you got this really cool place called Gettysburg.
Yeah.
I want to do a reenactment there, and in the daytime, and then go ghost hunting in Cashtown at night. So
that would be really cool.
I think that would be a really, really fun-filled weekend.
Yeah. I have a friend that runs the paranormal investigations at the Jenny Wade house in the orphanage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I've been there a couple of times. I heard some really interesting stories. Soldiers on a battlefield that shouldn't be there. I had a gentleman tell me a story about they were out on the battlefield, and they had a Confederate soldier come up to them and give them a musket. And
oh, wow,
they went back and they went back to the historical center to ask if it was like a real musket from the Civil War. And they validated, yes, it was, but we don't have any reenactors on the field today.
Oh, no way. Oh, man. Dang, that's freaking wild.
Yep. And actually, me and my wife, we're planning on doing some camping this summer. So we've been kind of looking at different campgrounds and stuff. Gettysburg supposedly has a campground that's not far from the field.
Sweet.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I can't tell the kids though.
No. Yeah. No, my battery's been to Gettysburg. I've not been to Gettysburg. So we've had my cannons over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I've seen some things like that. Wilson's Creek, Missouri. I used to go to Missouri quite often. And Wilson's Creek, Missouri was kind of the same thing. Because me and my buddy, we went back east, back that way to drop off some stuff to his in-laws' house. And I just happened to drive right by Wilson's Creek there, and I said, Joe, they're doing reenactments over there. And he says, really? I said, yeah, you see him? He's like, oh, damn, those guys were just huddled up in a tree line there, like just taking a break. And so we're like, we made a complete U-turn because he does reenacting too. And so I was like, well, let's go check it out. Let's see what's up. And so we get into the tour guide place, and I was like, you guys are doing reenactments here? Like, no. Really? Yeah, we don't start those till summertime. I'm like, well, you got some Union soldiers that are hanging out at the tree line. They're like, oh yeah, you're not the first person to say anything about that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, well, there's some rumors here that's like a spirit battalion that they're just marching through. And I'm like, man, be fooling us like that. I had to bring in my ghost equipment with me to go check it out. But so I was like, okay. I've heard stories of going to Shiloh, and I've heard stories of lost soldiers looking for their battalion coming into the campground. I've heard stories about that.
Yeah.
Truly fascinating. Like, just things like that just fascinates the hell out of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Have you ever had any experiences while out on the battlefield doing the reenactments?
No, not me personally. So I've heard stories and campfire stories, and sometimes at that certain point after the reenactment's over, some of these guys are a little so
Right.
it's hard to tell if they're seeing ghosts or if they're drinking ghosts. I don't know, but
it was a spirit of some kind.
It was some kind of a spirit of some sort, whether it was a bottle or human form. I don't know, but
oh, that's interesting. Now, do you camp out on the field during the reenactments?
Yeah.
See, that would be interesting.
Yeah. So we don't really have much battles out here in Arizona. We have a place that we go to, and we have a lot of Old West stuff out here. So I like to tell everybody that we got all the new releases here in Arizona. Everybody else has got all like the 1700s, 1600s. Man, we're modern. We got the 1920s.
That's awesome.
We got the new releases.
Now, do you think that doing these reenactments might call forth some sort of energy or spirit from that time?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I would probably say every time. I believe that the spirit between the world between us and the spirit world has a very, very thin veil.
Mm-hmm.
And more or less scientifically have proven that, more or less. Mm-hmm. And things that they're just on a different realm. So things that we do, there's probably investigators on their end looking at, hey, did you see that? There's a human over there. I know it. I heard battle noises over here. I always think about stuff like that. Like, okay, if we have them on the living end, do they have them on the spirit end? And
right. Sometimes
we intermingle and scare the hell out of both of us. I do often wonder about that. And we do have one of our places that we did a lot of our reenactments is the Pioneer Living History Museum. And that has a lot of old buildings that have been bought from just about every small town in Arizona, including us, and have been transported to this place. So a lot of that energy will still stay behind in some of these buildings. Yeah.
There's so many theories out there about what it actually is or what's going on. I've never really settled on one. I like to keep an open mind to all of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely have to have an open mind. Otherwise, you're just gonna. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it could be total. I mean, I've been on some ghost tours where it's like, okay, I know how you make your money.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there are some that are like, this is kind of boring. I know I can come here by myself and get way more.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you gone on like public investigations and things like that?
Like with different groups and stuff like that. Yeah, we've done like ghost tours and stuff like that with we went with Arizona. Matter of fact, they're called AZ Ghost Tours. A buddy of mine named Vinny runs that outfit, and he does ghost tours at the Old Elks Lodge and the 1910 jail. Another friend of mine, AZ Ghost Adventures, her name is Rita, and she does tours like that too. And yeah, so we've gone on some public tours and things like that. We've gone on private, we've gone on public, we've done house calls. We've got a couple of businesses in town that we take care of too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Being out in Arizona, I'm curious because I hear a lot of like UFO sightings and stuff. Have you guys ever witnessed anything?
Yeah.
I take that as a yes.
Hey, let me see if I can get it here in time. Well, I found something. I used to work at the copper mines, and out in the middle of the desert, there's nothing going on. Let me see if I can find it. I know I have it in here somewhere. Aha! Look at that, right off the bat. Okay, so I'm out in the middle of Florence, right there by this place called Post and Butte, and come on, play. There's like this floating. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but right there in the center. It's not a very good picture, but
Oh yeah.
you could tell it's not an airplane because that's the airplane. That is like making different colors.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was like floating above Coolidge, Florence area. So yeah. And you can see the airplane pass right under it.
Yeah.
So it's not an airplane. I don't know what the heck it is, but
Now those two on the end, is that a part of it or is that something else?
no, that is that's a street light. That's a street light.
Okay.
And I knew those two lights because I always often looked over in that direction, and I knew those two lights, and that's what caught my attention. Was like, that's never been there before. Yes, we have had UFO sightings here. Before. I have seen strange lights. Whether they're alien, I don't know. Whether they're government, I don't know. But it's definitely unexplainable, and
yeah,
it's definitely something there. And I think it has a lot because we still have a huge Native American presence here in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think that they had some kind of contact on a regular basis with the Native American population that is still here to this day. Most of those tribes are still alive and well.
Yeah.
We have just over the hill from my house, you pretty much can walk to it unless you like hills and don't walk to it, but place called Beshbagawa, and it's they're Indian ruins, and they were discovered by Fernando Cortez in 15 something or other, 1570 something like that. I don't know, but yeah, they're still there, up and running. They use them as a tourist site and everything like that. Pretty neat place. We have several other Indian ruins here. So yeah, I believe that the UFO at some point, the UFOs had some kind of contact with the Native American population.
Oh, I believe it. They talk about the star people, don't they?
They talked about the star people. It's written all over their. You go to some of these places in Navajo Nation, and you'll see hieroglyphics. The hieroglyphics, the what are the cave paintings of,
Mhm.
the Starmen.
Yeah.
You know, and I live like 5 minutes away from the San Carlos Apache Reservation. So and they'll tell you the same thing. They're like, yeah, you know, UFOs and aliens. So yeah, those I really believe that there's things out there that I don't know if we're meant to see. It's just it's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and one could say, well, if a saucer lands in my front yard and a little purple guy says, "Take me to your leader," then yeah, I'll make a believer. But I don't think we'll ever get to that.
Right. I feel like a select few have had that experience.
We've had. Oh yes, that's speaking of which. You guys ever seen Fire in the Sky?
What is it?
Well,
Fire in the Sky.
mm-hmm.
Okay, watch that. That happened here in Arizona as well.
Where could we find it?
YouTube, Tubi. Robert Patrick, T1000 plays in it.
Okay.
It was made back in the early 90s, and it happened up here in Heber Overgaard, which is about 2 hours away from my house here. And a guy they were out logging, and supposedly he went over this hill and disappeared for like 3 days.
Oh, wow. And
so because he had disappeared for 3 days, the local sheriff had arrested his logging crew because they thought they had murdered him. And they couldn't have been any more further from the truth because he showed up right outside of this restaurant naked next to a phone booth. And he was like, "No, this is what happened, man. This is like seriously what happened." They did like voice stress analyzer tests on him and everything. And of course they're not going to say, well, he's telling the truth. They came out as inconclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just go ahead and say it. Like, he was telling the truth, man. I mean, come on. How freaking hard is that? You know, those Men in Black guys are like, yeah, no, this was inconclusive. We're going to call it inconclusive.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
That's wild.
So if it's not inconclusive and he's not lying, but it's inclusive, like, what the hell? Man? You can't have your cake and eat it too, man. I mean, just tell us, like, was this guy freaking abducted or not?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time, though, they say things like that, and it's almost obvious what the answer is. Did you happen to watch the Congress meeting on the UAPs recently?
Oh, yeah. I haven't watched anything recent, but yeah, something about underwater.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the last one I saw.
There was a lot of questions like, do you have? I don't know. I think they did confirm, or they said that they had bodies, but there were certain questions that they would ask. It was either yes or no, and then they would be like, "We would like to discuss that in a private session." It's like, at that point, you're just saying yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah, why don't you just say yeah? That's what I'm saying. Like, why don't you just tell them yeah? I'm like, you're the military, like, you know what's going on in Area 51. Why is there a freaking 7-mile long runway?
Right.
You don't need a 7-mile long runway to freaking fly a P-52.
Yeah.
Oh man. Before we get too far away from it, I'm curious, what was that story you were going to tell us?
Oh, about the Globe Elks Lodge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
hold on. We only got 15 minutes left in this call, so just a heads up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a brief. So we collaborated with this group, Pitch Dark Paranormal, and the guy's name was Kyle and Joey. Awesome people. They're also on TikTok. They got YouTube videos. They go to like all these cool places. Like they go to the Haunted Hill House. They go to the Sally House. They go to, the original Conjuring House. They go to all these cool places, and I'm like, man, I'd love to go there someday. But anyways, so we're sitting in the control room at base camp. We're in base, and my Joey is on the 3rd floor. This is the tallest 3-story building in the world. Look it up. It's on Ripley's Believe It or Not. And so he's up on the 3rd floor. And we see this white mist coming through the cameras. He's got a camera on the stage, bar, 2nd floor, 3rd floor. So we're watching this mist come across. He's got 4 cameras. So it's in the stage, goes in through the bar, and then it just goes up, and you see it hit the 2nd floor, and then you see it go up to the 3rd floor, and you hear him scream.
Oh wow.
He's pitch black. It's pitch black because it was one of their challenges that they do, and it was completely pitch black. He couldn't tell if anything was coming after him or not, and you could hear the scream from where we were at, and you see him, and because he was right behind camera where you couldn't see him, but by golly, you sure could see him run back this way and go, something just fucking touched me. I was like, oh man, we watched that happen.
That's wild.
Yeah, I'll be putting up our footage too on our YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely be looking out for that.
I thought that was pretty neat. I was like, wow, that was funny, cool, and scary all at the same time. That's what we love about paranormal, is it's funny, cool, and scary at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your YouTube channel name again?
Chilling Encounters.
Chilling Encounters. I know that was your TikTok handle. I didn't know if you had that on your YouTube too.
And it's funny, you can't really find it on YouTube. You have to go through our link in bio to get to our YouTube channel. You can't just type in Chilling Encounters because it'll bring up like a bunch of other weird stuff too. And I'm like, I don't freaking know, but yeah. So yeah, just go into our link in our link tree right there, and it goes directly to our YouTube channel, and so you can see a lot of our Estes methods there too.
Awesome, yeah.
That's right.
We'll share your link in the description. That way, other people can find it easier.
We appreciate it. Now, what do you guys do on Spotify or?
Yeah, well,
anywhere you can find podcasts, YouTube. I think the video one will be on YouTube, and the other ones will be on whatever.
Spotify,
Sweet.
Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, I guess it is.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But Luke, did you have any other questions or anything?
No, thank you for coming on.
Hey, thanks for inviting me, man.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. We'd love to have you back on. I feel like this was a great conversation.
I do too. I have that. Yeah, I feel like there's something that we can actually do. But yeah, definitely if we go to Pennsylvania, we'll definitely hit you up, man.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, if we get down to Arizona.
That's our yeah. And if you guys ever make your way to Arizona, man, let me know, and we'll set you up. I know all the building owners that own all the buildings here in town that's the haunted places. So
well, that's awesome. Well, we are coming up on our time. We won't keep you any longer, but we really do appreciate you coming on, man. And no
problem.
Have a great day. Well, I guess for us it's evening, so
it's 5:00 here. It's about 8:00 where you're at.
Yeah, it's about 7:00. Yeah, I got to go pick my wife up from work. So,
all
right,
man.
James. You have a great day, man.
All right, you guys too, man. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody, for listening to another episode of Exploring the Unknown. And thank you so much, James, for coming on and sharing your experiences with us. It really means a lot. You guys, people come on here and they take the time out of their day to share their experiences and their stories. And we appreciate it so much. So, again, thank you to James. And we'll make sure to drop your YouTube link down in the description. That way other people can find you a little easier. So make sure you guys go check out James. And while you're on YouTube, before you leave the Exploring the Unknown page, make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you get subscribed, obviously, because we be dropping episodes as often as we can. And hit that little bell icon. That way you get notifications for whenever we do post an episode. Hopefully here in the future, Luke and I will be getting out, doing a little bit more investigating, going live and such. We kind of not been going live since Christmas and whatnot, and it's cold out, so trying to get out there in the snow is difficult as it is. But if you guys have I'll get it together, I promise. If you guys had an experience, I'll get my grammar correct. If you guys have had an experience and would like to come on our show, please reach out to us, and however you got to. Email, Facebook, our emails, exploringtheunknownpod at outlook.com, or you can go to our website, exploringtheunknownpod.com, and there is a contact page. You can send us an email, or if you don't want to come on the show, you can just send us a voice memo, record yourself telling your experiences, or even a video if you want to do that. Whatever you got to do, we would love to hear from you and share your experiences and stories on our show.
Yeah, definitely. We like to have more people reach out to us. It's a cool feeling having people reach out to us. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're actually like getting somewhere.
Yeah. Do you have a would you rather for me?
I do. I couldn't find one, but I have one that came up on my top of my head, so I think it would be pretty good. Would you rather investigate a Western town or an old mine shaft?
Oh, I would love to investigate the mine shaft, but that sounds terrifying. It sounds like, am I by myself? I probably am
No.
not. Oh, okay. So I'm not by myself. What, you going with me then? Is that
Okay, yeah.
okay? Well,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go with me, then we'll do the mine shaft, but you got to go first.
Okay. I'll do that. That'd be cool shit to go underground and investigate like an old mine where people potentially died.
I think it would be cool. To be honest with you, though, I probably wouldn't go in it just because I feel like it'd be unsafe. But I would definitely hang outside the entrance of it to investigate. You know.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be abandoned. It doesn't have to be an abandoned mine shaft. It could be like still a mine shaft that's like safe to like enter. It's not like an abandoned mine shaft.
Have you ever been like in the earth?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, it's not a very comforting feeling knowing that you're like, bro, when we went to Laurel Caverns, me and Renee went spelunking, and like when they were telling us like what's you know what that is?
I think so.
It's essentially cave exploration, okay?
Okay.
So going into it, they're like, okay, you need boots and you need a light and this and that, and we got to sign these waivers and you got to wear this hard hat or whatever. I'm like, okay. I think we had to wear a hard hat. I could be wrong. But either way, so we got the stuff. They told us, yeah, you're going to like have to fit through areas that are kind of smaller, and I'm like, well, I'm a big dude. I was like, am I gonna fit? And they're like, oh yeah, you'll fit. It'll be fine. So I'm thinking, okay, we'll get in here, and I'm gonna fit 100%. There's no chance that I'm not gonna fit. We get in there and we start exploring this cave with this dude that's like just a skinny mini dude. This dude's like a toothpick, and he's taking us further into the cave, like to places that most people don't go and explore unless they take this particular tour. We ended up climbing 40 stories down into the earth. We got down in there, and like there's some like I guess it would be World War or Civil War, I don't know, there's like things that are left over from the army or government that's like emergency phones and things, I think it was. But like we got down to a point where he's like, okay, shut your lights off. We shut our lights off, dude. You've never seen like night and dark like until you've experienced this. This is true dark. Like it gives you, it's enough to like make you feel a little panicky. And then I start thinking, I'm like, dang, if any of our lights die, like we're in it. Like if our lights die, we are severely screwed. Oh man, my camera froze on a really interesting part. So now my face looks weird. I don't know what's happening here. But like, yeah, so we climbed 40 stories down, and I'm thinking like we're gonna be like, there's like an exit, you know, we get 40 stories in and then we leave. No. you go 40 stories down and then you climb 40 stories back up. And when
crazy.
Yeah, when I say climb, I mean climb, dude. Like, it wasn't like, there was this one part where there's this ledge. I don't know why that keeps doing that, but there's like this ledge that let me just switch to my other camera. That's stupid. That sucks though, because it's like not as good quality. But there's this like a 4 or 5 foot wall and a ledge. Okay, like I can reach up and grab it, but I have to pull myself above it. Okay, big dude, kind of hard to do. And then once you get up on this ledge, there's like this hole that you have to squeeze through. That I'm just a little bit bigger than. And I'm like, we had a group of people, and I'm like sending them ahead of me. I'm like, you go ahead. I'm gonna be the last. I'm gonna do this last. Well, I go to do it. I get stuck. I can't make it through the hole. Like, I'm so tired from climbing 40 stories down that like we're 10 stories back up, and I'm like, I can't. I have nothing left in me to get out of this cave. So now I'm really starting to panic, because like there's the only way is for me to get myself out of this cave, because it's not like, unless they call in rescue, and then that's a whole other thing. We got everybody that's got to come down in the cave to get me out. I don't want to do that. And this little skinny mini of a dude, he's like, go back down the hole. So I go back down the hole, and I'm like at the bottom, and he throws his knee up. Like you know how like people do, like, here, like, let me hoist you up, and then he like throws his knee out. And I just went, I was like, if I break you, we're all screwed. There's like 6 of us. If you're out, we're done. And this dude,
That's where we die.
yeah, and he's like, no, man. He's like, you can do it. Well, I get back up in this hole, and I'm wedged, and then he's like pushing on me. So that I get like through the hole, and then he comes back up, and everybody's like, see, I told you could do it. Come on, man. Never again. I don't, unless I'm like in shape, because it's literal rock climbing.
Yeah.
Unless I'm in shape, I ain't doing that again. No way. No way.
That would be crazy. I'd be afraid of like falling on me.
Yeah. It's an interesting journey for sure. But being not skilled and no upper body strength, it's like I put myself in a situation where it could have been really bad if I couldn't make it back out of there.
Yeah, that would be creepy.
Yeah. So staying out of the mine shaft for sure.
I think an old Western town would be cool as shit.
I think that would be definitely really cool. I think that would be cool.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope. I think that's it.
Till next time, keep exploring
Exploring the
the
unknown. Bye.